Hello.
Hello.
Merry Hexmas and happy horror days to all of you out there. We have the festive set. You can kind of see some of it. We got Christmas Lights Henry. We got the Cherub, the return of Christian, our beautiful elf son. And yes, us goth elves are here with another Creepmas video. Today we are going to be talking about some of our favorite holiday movies to watch and ranking them. Not just regular holiday movies, Creepmas movies, freaky festive favorites. Not that kind of freaky though. No, it's like, hey. So we've picked 10 of our favorite holiday movies and we are going to be ranking them in a tier list system. We have 5 tiers, the S tier, the utmost, the absolute best. Only one movie can go in the S tier and claim the crown. Then we have A, B and C tier, and we've removed D and E because D and E are pointless. If you're in the D tier or you're in the E tier, you may as well be in the F tier. And I know what you're thinking. We picked our favorite movies. Why have we even got an F tier? Because we're not going to agree and something's going to land down there. Without further ado, let's get into our favorite Creepmas movies. Okay, I'm going to start with an easy one that I think we're both going to very much agree on. And a lot of people forget, okay, that this is a Christmas movie and arguably one of the best Christmas movies. And we are, of course, talking about one of the best horror comedy Christmas movies to ever grace the silver screen, Gremlins. Oh my God, they're in the house. The whole movie takes place over Christmas. Gizmo is literally a Christmas present. So it is a Christmas movie and it is definitely a Creepmas movie because it is a horror / comedy and it is a little bit terrifying in some parts. It's a little messed up. Like every time I rewatch it, I'm like, there's stuff that happens in this that I don't recall watching this as a child.
Yeah, we can't even say it. But
them Gremlins are savage. And also the theme song is just iconic every year. Copyright, so yeah, this is what we've got. But yeah, honestly, one of my favorites to watch around this time of year. I think clearly one of your favorites to watch around this time of year.
I feel like
too.
I forget to watch it on Christmas though, and I just watch it like some other time.
You put it on in March and then you're like, wait a minute, this is a Christmas movie.
Is it by like Christmas vibes?
If it was on Christmas vibes, Gremlins is like
low.
Up there. What?
I don't think so.
It's so up there. It's snowing
reason,
the whole time.
For some reason, I don't think it's like really Christmassy.
There's Christmas decorations everywhere. Gizmo's a Christmas present.
And she literally tells a story about like Santa and everything. I don't know why, I don't get Christmassy vibes. One Christmas I actually got a Gizmo as a gift in the box, but it was a box almost exactly like the one in the movie and I thought it was the coolest gift ever.
The important question, where do we rank it?
I mean, for Creepmas, I think I would prefer this over most horror Christmas movies.
So A tier for now. Okay, next up. This is going to be controversial, I'm sure. And we've already had arguments about this. But The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Night Before Christmas.
It is a Christmas movie.
It's in the title.
I get the way a lot of people are like, oh, it's both. It's a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie. But I never watch it at Halloween because then it reminds me that Christmas is right around the corner. Because it's so Christmas heavy. So it's a mixed bag. But I think overall, as a movie, it is a Christmas movie. It gave us What's This? Which is honestly one of the best Christmas songs of all time. It gave us
This Is Halloween.
Yeah, that's the intro. And then what happens after that? Christmas.
So
Christmas,
it's both
Christmas,
as people.
Christmas.
It's both.
It's Christmas.
Connor's saying it's Christmas.
90% of the way through.
But a little bit more Christmas. Maybe a lot more, right?
That's gone. Okay.
Christmas is over.
And it also gave us Kidnap the Sandy Claus, which in and of itself, not one of the best Christmas songs of all time.
Except for when Conor
did it. And that cover is one of the best Christmas songs of all time. So it's giving us a lot soundtrack-wise. But I don't love this movie as much as everyone else does. And by everyone else...
Yeah, same. I don't get it.
I mean Lynn.
I don't get it.
And probably most of you. The songs are great. And it is iconic. But it's just not that great a movie. It's not S tier 10 out of 10. Oh, you have to see this movie. What it did was the first one to really mix Halloween and Christmas.
It was kind of the first thing to make me spooky.
That's valid. And I understand that a lot of people saw this movie growing up and are like, this shaped me as a person.
Yeah, I mean, you watch it and you go, oh, I want to watch this every day. Like, why is that? And you go, oh.
Weird. Which I fully understand, and which is blatantly obvious by the absolute amount of Jack Skellington tattoos you see.
I don't have one. Hands up. Hands up.
Yeah, hands up in the comment section.
Who doesn't have one?
If you are over the age of 25 and you don't have a Jack Skellington tattoo.
I came close so many times.
It's gonna be a desert in that comment section, I'm sure.
I think for a lot of people it's a comfort movie as well, and they just remember growing up watching it and can remember like how important it was at the time. Obviously when I was younger I was obsessed with this movie, and then I kind of went cringe, but now I feel like maybe just because I'm seeking comfort right now, and that was just a time where things were simpler, I would watch it now just to relax me and stuff. Like
that was going to be my point, was like nostalgia and like stuff aside, judge it as a movie, not S tier.
If it was up to me, I'd say The Gremlins and A Nightmare Before Christmas are both S tier.
Well, only one of them can be.
I think Gremlins S, Nightmare Before Christmas A.
Okay, right, we're filling the S spot now.
I just know it.
Now, next one on the list. You're not going to remember this, and I know you're not going to remember us watching this movie, so you're going to have like zero opinion on it.
Must be a very good one.
But rare exports. So this movie is kind of like a horror Christmas movie, and they're like drilling in the mountains in Finland, and they accidentally awaken Santa, who has been like frozen in ice, but he's evil. It's actually just a really good movie is the thing with it.
I'm not really into like action movies,
but it's just really well made and a really interesting concept, because I've seen so many like, oh, Santa is evil movies, and it's all just kind of the same thing, like Evil Santa and Futurama. Like it's basically just that, but not robots all the time. Whereas this was, I thought, was a really interesting take on it, and there's some cool like horror scenes that I can't talk about because of YouTube. If you're a straight up horror fan and you want a Christmas themed kind of movie to watch that isn't gonna be terrible, I think Rare Exports is a good one to watch.
I don't.
Name a better full-on horror Christmas movie.
Black Christmas.
That movie is 50 years old next year.
People love it though.
And a lot of people don't like to watch back over horror movies that are that old. So if you want like a more modern action horror movie, I think Rare Exports is the one.
Okay.
So I'm going C tier.
C.
Okay, right, we agree.
I can agree with that. I'm not
Excellent.
going to put it in my... I don't even remember the movie because it was so boring, but like...
Okay, my apologies, Miss Girl.
Okay, next up, one of my modern favorites. A member of the cast is with us right here as we speak. I think you love this movie. You've had mixed things with this movie because we've watched it before and you've been like, oh, I actually don't like this movie.
Yeah, I'm always like, oh yeah, and then I watch it and I'm like,
And you're like, oh yeah.
You put it on and I'm
actually
like,
into it.
boring.
So this is Krampus, made by the director of Trick or Treat, so you know it's going to be good straight off the bat, and it is a horror Christmas movie based around the legend of Krampus. It's funny, it's got some great things we can't say because of the yellow thing yet again. It's got a really cool premise. The special effects, a lot of it is practical effects and the makeup and costumes and stuff, absolutely amazing. When this movie came out, I was like, oh, finally a good horror Christmas movie, high budget aesthetic, well made, and the acting is like top tier. Finally we have something like this. In saying that, I don't think it's S tier.
There's just some like slow moments. And
Yeah.
I feel like, and I mean, I guess the person that did that did it on purpose for it to be kind of like
tense
and stuff, and I get that, but I just have ADHD, so I'm just kind of like, I do think it's a good movie when stuff actually happens, but I feel like there's just a lot where nothing happens, I understand why they maybe did that, but no, not for me.
Would you disagree with me if I said A tier?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh, that went easier than I thought it would.
No, I don't want to be harsh on it. I do know it's a good movie, and the toys and stuff I think come alive, and that's really cool.
The gingerbread man, seeing that in the cinema was hilarious.
Funny.
The whole cinema was in tears laughing
Yeah,
during that
that
scene.
is my kind of movie, to be honest.
It's hilarious, it's also scary, and it importantly teaches a lesson.
Can't remember the lesson.
Yeah. And it's got a depressing ending, and I love movies that don't bow to the like, oh, it has to have a happy ending. So I rate that. Krampus A tier, right next to Nightmare Before
agree.
Christmas. I was gonna say this next one might be difficult for you, but I think you can separate what's good from the actual movie itself, and we have a very important one, and it is Child's Play.
Oh, sorry, if you were seeing my face, I was looking at a different one on the list.
And I know how important this is to you and how big this is to you. This movie isn't. The character and the franchise is.
Yeah.
Even you have to admit. It swings and it misses a little bit sometimes.
I know that it's a fan favorite. People that love horror movies, they just love this one because it is the scariest. He looks the scariest in this, even though later on he gets scars and stuff, which should be more scary, but just gives him character and you get to know him and you love him. Well, I do. But back then, it was just like, what is this? What is going on? So it was a lot scarier back then, and I agree with that. So people that watch horror movies for the scares alone, I completely understand. But for me, I'm like more just into the movie itself, and I feel like Bride of Chucky is just, I don't know, I just like the storyline better. I think he's funnier, but at the same time there's still enough horror and gore and stuff. And a lot of them have snow and stuff in it, but not Christmas, I guess. They're not like Christmas movies. I would be tempted to put some in here just because they have a bit of snow.
Original Child's Play, iconic, gave us Chucky, the character, which has gone on to have like 7 movies, 3 seasons of a TV show, a reboot. But we do have to really judge it as a movie. Now, it hasn't aged actually that badly, but I just don't think I love this movie as much as I love later ones in the franchise, and that makes me think I like this movie more than I do. But it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, like people get the doll for Christmas, and I guess there's maybe a bit of snow. I don't see it as a huge Christmas movie.
But where do we rate it on our Creepmas movies list?
I guess B.
Oh, B tier. Look at us. Look at us.
I could change my mind tomorrow.
Agreeing
It depends
stuff.
on the day, you know. I could change my mind tomorrow.
I thought this was gonna go. I thought there was gonna be blood. I thought you and I were gonna be screaming at each other. B tier. I'll happily accept that. Next up, we have a movie that we both love and we both watched recently and kind of forgot it was a Christmas movie. And then we watched it and we're like, oh yeah, this is a Christmas movie. Batman Returns. And this is a great movie. I love this movie, and even aesthetically to this day, it looks incredible. If you watch the remasters of it from the original film, seeing it in such pristine like 4K quality was crazy. It really highlights how well made this movie was and the attention to detail on all the costumes.
It was so
and
cool to
sets.
see. It really was. The lighting and everything and the effort that they put in. You could just tell how much effort they put into like every second of this movie.
The cinematography is fantastic. Set design, amazing. Costume design, amazing. It's got Beetlejuice as Batman. I mean, come on. You can't argue with that, right? Batman Returns. Great Batman movie. Great alternative Christmas movie to watch. This is hard, though.
Something's wrong with me. I don't see any of it. I'm like, this is also not very Christmassy, even though it is.
It's
I'm
like
just
straight
broken.
up Christmas.
I'm broken. I don't know. I'm like, I watch that anytime. I'm not a Christmas person. I'm really not. I look like I am. I like to dress up no matter what time of the year it is, but I don't.
I'm not a Christmas
I do
person.
not like Christmas. I may have put Santa hats on every single audience in this realm.
Audience?
Audience members, that's what they are now. I just don't see any of these movies as Christmas movies, not one of them.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. Not a Christmas movie.
Well, that's
Krampus.
mixed.
Not a Christmas movie. Gremlins. Not a Christmas movie.
They are.
They all
just-
take place on Christmas.
Yeah, I'm broken.
So this is going to be a hard one to place because I really do love this movie, but the tiers are getting kind of full. So Batman Returns, A tier. Our last movie in A tier. Is it better than Krampus?
Not for a Christmas movie.
Third place in A tier. We're gonna argue over this one because I love
Bring
this
it on.
movie, and I'm looking at the tiers now, and I'm like, oh damn it, fill the bay a little too quick. You don't have the same feeling about this movie as me, I don't think. So better watch out.
I'm trying to remember what that is.
So she's babysitting him at Christmas. A home invasion happens. Then the movie, you know.
I actually love this movie.
What? We watched this movie last year, and you were annoyed about it.
I was annoyed because it was so freshly in my mind.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Like, sometimes that's like that. I feel like, you know, not long has passed and then we're watching it again. I'm like, I remember this too much. Like,
That is valid.
When I first watched it, it was amazing because I was like, oh my, I didn't know this was happening. And it was great. You don't have that same effect the second time. Maybe if I give it a few years, because I'll probably forget. But great movie, but you know, it loses its charm after you know what's happening.
Yeah, it is hard to rewatch a movie that's so heavily dependent on the twist.
I recommend people watch this movie.
It's great. It's kind of like a slasher, horror, psychological thriller Christmas movie.
And people don't talk about it enough.
I think you saw a TikTok or something that like recommended this movie, and we watched it, and I usually expect going into things like this that they're gonna be dog shit. With this and Halloween, whenever we're watching a movie that we haven't heard of, I'm like, man, this is gonna be terrible, because it's rare that they're really good, you know what I mean? You watch a lot of stinkers to find the diamonds in the rough, because I'm like, we know all the good Halloween movies by now, and everything else isn't gonna be as good. And I feel the same about horror Christmas movies. So when you get one like this that's been out a little while and you haven't seen it and you haven't heard of it and you watch it and it's amazing, it just adds to that. But then again, as you said, it's heavily dependent on the twist, and a rewatch, it's hard to have that same effect. But the acting is great, cinematography is great, it's so unexpected. So I don't know where I'm gonna put, I don't want to B-tier this movie. Better
Watchability.
Rewatchability. Yeah, I guess you can take some points off it for that. But is it better than Batman Returns?
It's just not iconic.
It is hard to watch this movie every year.
Yeah,
but I'll
just
watch
for that
Batman
reason.
Returns every damn year.
Yeah, it's not watchable or rewatchable.
Is it better than Child's Play?
No, they're the same.
So Better Watch You and Child's Play are tied in B tier. Fair?
I honestly feel bad about that because, sorry, Chucky fans. But
Sorry, Chucky fans. Okay, next up we have one that Lynn really wanted in this list, and I understand why, but I hate this movie, and it is Jack Frost, the horror one, not the happy one.
my favourite is stories where like families go out to get a Christmas movie and not realise that was a horror movie. Easy mistake though.
I hate this movie. I think it sucks.
It's a really old movie.
Yeah.
I feel like, because I remember watching it, this was like one of the first few horror movies I ever watched. No, I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember this movie, but I remember it's funny and it's very Christmassy. And then the second one is funny because like he has like little snowball children or something. And I just remember them with their little like sharp teeth.
F tier.
Maybe.
I think it's F. I get it, it's funny, not a fan of it. Never really was.
Let us know in the comments, does anybody like this movie?
Some people are going to fight to the death
Somebody
over
fight
this,
for
I'm
this
sure.
movie, so we'll watch it.
But I think it's F tier. And you can make an argument to bump it up to C.
No, I don't remember, so...
She fought for this to be on this list. Jack Frost, F tier. 2 movies left. So the first one of those 2 is Edward Scissorhands.
We watched it for Halloween in a church once.
Big projector screen in the church. Everyone sat in the pews. There was like food and snacks and stuff. Weird experience. Even weirder that it was the second movie we saw in a church.
The Addams Family in the church was better.
We saw the Addams Family in Christchurch Cathedral.
Better.
It's a bigger church.
And
like
they had popcorn.
And they had popcorn. And I want to say that seeing Edward Scissorhands in a church was a vibe.
Very
and the
small
movie focuses a lot on winter and snow. And the Ice Dance song is an incredible Christmas time song. So I think this movie is a good movie to watch around the holiday season. But where do I rate it on Creepmas movies? There's a lot of sun and stuff in it. And
F.
bright colours.
F.
It's not F. Only one lives in F, and that's Jack Frost.
That's an everyday Christmas movie.
It's an F. That's just your usual everyday Christmas movie.
Sometimes I'd be in the mood to watch a Christmas movie in the summer.
Yeah, to cool you down. I think C tier.
See, because people are going to be angry. But
Yeah.
it's just by Christmas.
Yeah,
Like,
we're not judging it as a
in
movie.
like everyday movies, it would be high up, you know?
C tier for Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Fair. And it's better than Rare Exports.
Yeah.
Now, the last one on this list, is this the one that you were throwing your nose about earlier? I'd like to hear your arguments against, and that is the classic Christmas movie, The Shining. This is a Christmas movie.
Is it?
They go there for the holidays, for the winter period. There's tons of snow. They're all in their like Christmassy sweaters and stuff. That's all Christmassy.
No.
It's a good Christmas time horror movie. So what's your argument against?
No. Didn't even say the word Christmas.
Okay, so where do you think it would land on the ranking then?
F.
You think that's F? You want
Not
to bump?
Christmas.
You want to bump Jack Frost
Not
up
Christmas.
above The Shining?
Yes.
If we put The Shining in F tier. Jack Frost goes up to C tier. We're on the same level as Edward Scissorhands.
No, okay, no. Okay,
And we're
it's
exports.
C.
Is it more Christmassy than Edward Scissorhands?
No.
Is it more Christmassy than Rare Exports, the movie about Santa?
No.
So that's everything placed. I think A tier is too full. There shouldn't be 2 in B tier and 3 in A tier. I think Batman Returns has to go down to B tier.
Fine, C. B.
And is it above Better Watch Out?
No.
Okay, so it jumps from the last place in A tier to the last place.
I'm just going by Christmas.
In B tier. Looking at this, I think I'm pretty happy with that. The best Creepmas movie of all time in S tier goes to Gremlins. It has to.
Agreed.
So that is our Creepmas Horror Days festive favorite movies to watch. So let us know in the comment section down below why you disagree with this, and make a case for your favorite alternative Christmas movie down below. Let us know which is your favorite to watch around this time of year. The Black Christmas stands, I know you're screaming and pointing and throwing stuff, and that is fair. That is an iconic movie. It's very important. I'm just not that into it, and I don't rate it that high. As always, massive shout out to our patrons. They help us continue to make videos like this. If you're interested in helping support the channel and getting early access to videos and behind the scenes blooper reels and our copyright free music library, the link to the Patreon is in the description down below. As always, we hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing as it helps us out a lot. And as always, until next time, see you in your nightmares.